Hi Stampers, this is Angela Meyer with Wild Violets Art. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I have a new bundle out of the new catalog that I wanted to show you today. We have this very, very cute Little Treats bundle that has all these die cuts and all these stamps for just a great price of $53. And I'm going to show you how you can not only make boxes, but you can make cards as well. So let's get started. This is the card that we're going to make. And as you can see, I've used some of the elements from this set, the birthday, the packages, and on the inside, I've made this cute little banner and added another package. So this is a sweet little card for a child or more masculine, or if someone that you know loves these colors. It's a real fun one. So this is the Cling Rubber Cling stamp set. And as you can see, they've got all these verses for all these different holidays. So not only do you have Halloween, Christmas, but you've got birthdays, you've got wedding or bridal shower related items. It's super fun. Let me just show you some of the treat boxes that I've been making. Look at that little Halloween one. Isn't that cute? Here's the bridal. Here's the Christmas. Here's just a treat. And then this one is a birthday one that matches the card. How fun is that? What we're going to do is we're going to just use it for the card today, because this card goes together so nicely and it looks so great. But you can see from the dies, there's just all this variety. We're going to start with a half of 8.5 by 11. So we're going to have 4 1/4 by 8.5. And we're going to score that. I'm not sure if you know this, but Stampin' Up! Their cutter actually has a scoring side to it. So the lighter is scoring, the darker is cutting. So I'm just going to place this at 4 1/4 and I'm going to score. And I just go over it twice. It puts this nice score mark and makes it super easy to fold. Once I fold it, then I get out my bone folder after I line up the edges. If I see that the edges aren't quite lining up exactly like I'd want to, I just pull it over and just braze the edge. And then we've got just a really nice card. Okay, so we're not going to do anything with this piece just yet. So I have here another sheet of paper that is 5 1/4 by 4 inches. We're going to emboss this with the embossing folder called Tasteful Textile 3D. It has this really great look, and you get this really great 3D effect. So I don't know if you've seen it or not, but Stampin' Up! Has a new cut and emboss machine. It's really big, but they've made it super easy with the sandwiches. So when I'm doing die cutting, I'm using the base plate, which is number 1, extra piece, which is number 2, and then I use 2 of the number 3s. But when I'm embossing, especially something that's 3D, then I'm going to use the plate number 4. I'm putting the edge first, and then just scroll through. And you can see that this texture is just stunning. Super easy, not that scary. Okay, so this will go right on top of the white cardstock. I just glue along the edges. I place it so that all my edges are even on all 4 sides. Rub it down, and I'm just going to put it aside for a minute while we work on the next thing. So I've already cut some of these items. This was cut with the stitch shape dies, and they have squares, circles, and ovals. And as you can see, I made my magnetic sheet double-sided. Again, makes it easy to find things. That way I'm always finding the size that I want. Sometimes when you are cutting out your dies, there's a remnant piece. And this time I decided to be really careful about cutting right in the middle, because I'm going to use this remnant piece for the inside of this card. It's just so cute, frames it out. You can put another verse there, or you can put your message, however you'd like, but it just adds a really cute element to the interior of the card. So, 2 7/8 piece of cardstock that nests just perfectly with the largest of the stitch shaped. And I'm just going to glue that on top. This glue is really good, and I find that nothing comes apart. I don't get carried away with how much glue I put on. And again, I'm just trying to make sure that all my edges are equal. And I'm going to place this aside. So the next thing I'm going to work on is stamping. And the colors that I'm working with is the plaid specialty paper that comes with this fall mini catalog. There's this fun plaid tidings, and look at all the colors that it has. And I've been going crazy using it for Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, and just general. I mean, it's even got colors that could be spring or Valentine's. It's just going to be a really cute designer series paper for a full year. So for this one, I'm using Garden Green and Balmy Blue. And I'm going to use the B-size block for the little package. And I'm going to use for the birthday wishes. Now I've already cut these. This is 7/8 by 1 7/8, and once I use the die cut for the little backing of the verse, it's going to fit and nest right in there. So I'm going to do 3 packages. And make sure this is inked up really well. And then I'm going to stamp off and do another one. That way it's a little bit lighter tone. And then I'm going to use the Balmy Blue. Super cute. I'm going to be needing this again for the inside. In the meantime, I need this for the verse. Whenever you have a verse, I always like to practice and see which way it's leaning. Perfect. Okay. So now I've got a number of things that I need to cut out. So it's all these little packages. I'm going to use the die cut for the packages, and I'm going to use the die cut for this piece here. So let's bring the Stampin' Cut and Emboss over again. Clear die cut plates number 3. So I don't have the magnetic plate just yet. So I have some washi tape here that works really well. That way I can line up my die, add a little piece of washi tape so that it stays in place. And then I want to make sure that my plate's fairly straight so that it runs through the machine straight. This is meant to be on a solid surface, so with my little pad it tends to wiggle around. I don't need it to go through twice. Cuts really well, but I am going to need to cut out more of the packages. Okay. So for this card, I've got my little packages. I've got this, and I've got my card base. So I'm going to glue this piece down to this scalloped card base. Making sure all the sides are equal. Set it aside while it sets. For my cute little packages, I'm going to use dimensionals. Pretty much just needs one each. Just so you know, this piece of Plaid Tidings Designer Series paper was a 3x3 piece. And when I cut it down, it just left the perfect amount remaining. So I'm going to put this about down here in the corner. Now I want my lightest color package in the middle, about right here. And then I'm overlapping both packages. I like all of my items on my cards to overlap because it just kind of gives a continuous visual. It's one of those things that I learned in art class. Now I'm going to put dimensionals on the back of this piece. Now I want this towards the top, but I want 3 sides to be equal. So just visually, I just kind of place it towards the top. Now I'm using some little sequins that already have glue dots on them. This is from the Artistry Blooms sequins. So I'm going to use a couple of large ones and then a small one. With my sequins or my embellishments, I tend to just try to get like a triangle going. Doesn't have to be a perfect triangle, but just something so that, again, the eye is kind of roving around and you don't have any discord. Okay, so now for the inside, my H block and cute little banner stamp. And I'm going to use the garden green stamp pad again for the banner. Now I know this is going to be about here. So when I ink up the banner, I'm just going to move the cardstock away, place my stamp there. Now I'm just going to come back and I'm going to glue some dots around the edge. Not too much glue because I don't want my page to stick together. Just enough to keep it in place. And then again, I want place so that the banner looks like it's. And then I want one more package. I'm going to have that be the Balmy Blue. Remember to clean off your stamps in between. I'm just going to stick it down here at the bottom. We are done. This is a super cute card. It took seconds. This little treat bundle has so much variety and versatility. Thanks for joining me. Again, my name is Angela, Wild Violets Art. You can reach my blog at www.wildvioletsart.com. Have a good evening.